Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm going to get going just because it's already 6:03. Hopefully we'll get more people, but I'm really happy to see all of you joining us today. My name is Adela Ramos, and my pronouns are she, ella, and I am a professor of literature at the English department, which is one of the reasons why I'm here. But I'm also here because I really love what I do. And I've been at POU for 13 years teaching in the English department, and I also teach in environmental studies. And I have to say that this is really an incredible community of students and professors, and I'm really excited that you're interested in joining us. So just to let you know what I'll be doing today, I'll be going over very the fundamental aspects of what it means to either major or minor in English or in writing at POU. But I'm also going to let most of my presentation have the voices of my colleagues and some of our students so that you can hear from other people as well. And it's not just me here kind of asking you to hold a lot of information in your minds. And if you have any questions after I'm done, the admission team has my email and has the email of the chair of the department, Dr. James Albrecht, who both of us would be really happy to answer any questions you have. So I'm going to take a moment just to share my screen and then I'll start. And if you have questions at any point, you can write them on the chat or unmute yourselves, and I'm happy to answer questions either at the end or if anything comes up in the middle that makes sense for us to think about then, and Chuck can let me know. We'll do that. So just bear with me while I share my screen. And this is might take a couple clicks because I want to make sure that you can see what you're supposed to be seeing. Yes, great. Okay, and so we're gonna start. So as I said, my name is Adela Ramos. I'm actually originally from Mexico City. That's where I grew up. And then I got my PhD in English literature. Specifically, I specialize in 18th century British literature. So old literature, literature of the Enlightenment. And I'm actually the member of the department teaching the oldest period of literature. Everybody else in the department teaches 19th century up until today. So it's a really vital and kind of present contemporary current department. Okay, so we're gonna get started here. So in a bit, I'll be showing you some videos from our students who were gracious enough to and excited really to share their experiences with you. And as you'll see, the agreement is that POU is a really great place to come and study, first of all. And secondly, that the English department is a really great place to work and to become either a major or a minor. One of the key aspects that I enjoy about teaching at PLU is that we have one-on-one relationships with our students. I keep in touch with my students long after they graduate, and I'm able to teach them several times and to communicate with them constantly through their trajectory at PLU as majors or minors. So going back to where I was, small cohorts are really kind of the essence of why PLU is a really great place to study. So that's something that all of our students comment on and all of our faculty enjoy doing. We're at PLU because that's what we like to do, to work one-on-one with students. English specifically as a department has a really cool and I would say really important and urgent focus, which is we all, even no matter if we're doing literature that is old or of the present, or if we're working on being creative writers in fiction, poetry, we all care about storytelling, and really that is the emphasis of our department. We teach students how to examine storytelling and analysis. We teach students how to create and to write their own stories. We teach students about the power of story in communities and for the public. And so really the term storytelling is what I would ask you to kind of hold as one of the really great aspects and emphases of this major and minor. And I'll tell you a little bit about how we do that now. So we have 3 different tracks. So first of all, you can choose to major in either literature or writing. And then if you choose either one of those 2 majors, you can choose a concentration in creative writing and professional public and digital literacies, or in literature. And this allows you to basically, within a field like literature and writing that's really expansive, to become a kind of expert on one of its aspects. So if you want to be a poet, if you want to write science fiction or fantasy, you should choose a creative writing track. If you're really interested in things like digital storytelling and social media and how to create, how to bring literature to the public, or how to make people engage with the arts and literature, I would say the professional public and digital literacies track is for you. And this track also helps you become a really great writer for careers like technical writing or resume and grant writing. So it has a lot of really applicable practical aspects to it that are really valuable. One of the courses that I teach for that track is digital writing and storytelling, and we do all kinds of writing. Like we create blog posts, we think about how social media works and how it's a form of storytelling, and then students create video stories about a problem that they're really invested in. So it's a really fun class, and it also gives you a lot of skills that you can transfer to the job market. And then the literature track, which I also teach in, helps you become an expert in what it means to read, how books and poetry, essays make meaning. And so if you're really consider yourself a reader that is really passionate about learning about cultures and communities across the globe, across time, the literature track is absolutely for you. And then every single track has to take a senior seminar where students create a final capstone project. And those projects, if you're a poet, are going to mean you're going to, by the end, have a series of poems that you can continue to work on and publish. For instance, if you're a short storyteller, you'll have a series of short stories. If you're in the literature track, you'll be presenting on kind of your critical work on a particular either novel or set of different literary genres. And if you're in the professional public and digital literacies track, you would be creating a project that kind of aligns with, if you're, for instance, into editing and printing, something that is a project that has to do with the book industry and the print industry and the printing, the editorial industry, for instance. If you're in digital literacies, you'd be creating probably an extended digital story, for instance. So I really like that our major also has different aspects of what it means to study literature and writing for different people. Okay, so as I've said, there's different concentrations, and within those concentrations, you can also seek even more expertise or specialty. So for writing, you can become a fiction writer, a poetry writer. You can do creative nonfiction writing, which involves like essayistic writing or writing about public issues, autobiographical writing. We have a screenwriting class as well. So if you're interested in kind of the film and TV industry, that's another, for instance, concentration that you can take. And within those different choices, we increasingly offer classes in science fiction and fantasy, which we know are very popular among students these days. I already kind of went over this in some detail, but for the professional public and digital literacies track, we have an amazing public arts and printing, public publishing and printing arts program. And so one of the ways in which you can focus in our majors and minors is by studying publishing procedures and what the art of the book is. So the history of the book and how books are also art. This track also is good for people who want to be teachers, because we also offer a theories of reading and writing that's partly preparing you for an education track. That and the English language also are really great for anybody who's wishing to be a teacher, because they give you a really great background and foundation on the history of the language. And our literature concentration offers students an ability to really become nimble readers. So you'll be able to move between literatures that were written in the US and Europe, but also we have a focus on really important periods and kind of global topics like the Holocaust. And so you'll be learning about literature of refugees, literature of the Holocaust. We also have a focus on immigrant or border literature. So we have an Asian American literature kind of emphasis, and we also emphasize many different kinds of communities. And so we have an emphasis on queer and queer literature, as well as literature written by writers of color. So I'm going to share with you a couple videos from some of my colleagues. The first one is from Dr. Scott Rogers, and he teaches in the public and digital literacies track. And he'll tell you a little bit about why he's passionate about the work he would be doing with you. So here we go.
Hi, my name is Scott Rogers. I'm a specialist in rhetoric and writing, which means I study how people use language to make meaning in the world, how they sway their audiences, and then I work with students to teach them how to do the same kinds of things in their own writing. I teach courses in professional and public writing, in rhetoric and literacy theory, and I have a new course in screenwriting that I'm pretty excited about. I usually include a lot of community-based learning in my classes, and I always have students work actively with digital tools and technologies. My favorite thing about the courses I teach is that I get to work with students on the details, those little things, the right word, the right metaphor, the right image. In a world where bots and AI is going to do a lot of the simple work for us, the devil's going to be in those details, so it's important to get them right. I love working with students to make them more confident so that they can achieve the goals they have for their own writing. I look forward to seeing you at PLU.
So that is Dr. Rogers, and if anybody's telling you that a bot could do anything that you would do in our major, they're lying. As Dr. Rogers said, it's really about that kind of nuance and detail, and really becoming an expert in what it means to create meaning through storytelling and with words that no bot can really replicate, and that we will be definitely helping you develop. And this is Dr. Solveig Robinson, who teaches for our publishing and printing arts minor, as well as for our literature concentration.
Hi, I'm Solveig Robinson, and my areas of expertise are publishing studies and 19th century British literature. I regularly teach courses like The Book and Society, Publishing Procedures, and Literature of the Raj. What I really love about teaching at PLU is that I can put all of my academic and editorial experience to use, helping students see how they can turn a liberal arts education into something that will help them to meet the challenges and explore the opportunities in the larger world. I hope you'll come join us.
And so, following on what my colleague Dr. Robinson just told you about, I want to spend a little bit of time going over what you can do with our major. So I've told you a lot about what you can do within the major or the minor if you come to PLU, but I think for a lot of us who care about literature and writing and the arts generally, as well as the humanities, we're constantly being asked, I know I have, what are you going to do with that? And how are you going to make a living? That's certainly a question that my parents used to ask me, as well as my friends, when I chose to major in English. And the great news is that there's a lot of things that you can do, and our alumni are doing incredibly well in the job market. And part of that has to do with what Dr. Rogers said, that when you graduate, you are going to have a skill that not many people have. It seems like a lot of people have, because we're in a world where everybody's writing all the time, like text messages, blog posts, etc. But to do that well actually takes a lot of hard work, and it takes talent. And so it's something that will make you a distinguished candidate in the job market. And some examples of what our students do. I currently have a student who is actually about to get a job in the as an assistant in the district attorney's office. So we have also students who, in addition to going to law, are going into medicine, and you're about to hear from one student who's going to be applying to medical school afterwards, but he thought an English literature degree would make him a better doctor. We have a lot of students who go into business or who double major with business while they're at PLU. Other students go into the health sciences. Others become entrepreneurs. So we have wine experts and microbrewers and people who have opened restaurants, as well as people who have opened bookshops in the region. Obviously, because you'll be an expert writer and kind of creative thinker, public relations and communications officers, and different kinds of social media related jobs are also looking for English majors. But if you're interested in the public and community and current world problems, there's also a line of work for English majors are in social work and not-for-profit organizations. Our students have also gone on to become published novelists. They work at editorial houses. One of my former advisees is at Macmillan in New York City. She got an amazing job there, and she's working for their young adult literature branch. And we have many students who are committed educators and who go on to be teachers, which, as you probably know, we really need in the world today. So some examples of where our students study are also, I think, stellar. They get into the best universities in the country. So we have students studying in Harvard and the University of Washington. We have students in Portland State, in Columbia University, in the University of Minnesota. We also have students studying in Northeastern as well. And as you can see, the degrees that they get are also pretty varied. We have biology, literature and Native American Indigenous studies, theater, philosophy, gender, peace and security, international politics, history, English. So it's really also a very capacious, flexible, diverse set of skills that you'll have and interests that'll allow you to then move into many different kinds of possible careers and graduate programs. And so one of the things that I'm going to show you right now are 3 videos from different majors who will speak more accurately than I can to what it means to actually be a student in our program. So the first one is Daniel Benson, who is double majoring in English and biology.
Hello, prospective students. My name is Daniel Benson. I'm a junior double majoring in biology and English with the concentration in writing. I just want to send a quick message saying that I have absolutely loved my time here at PLU. Being able to do both sciences and the humanities has been just absolutely critical for me. I am someone who's, hoping to eventually go on to med school to become a physician, but I truly believe in the power of the humanities and the importance of it, even going into a field such as medicine. The English department has been incredibly flexible with me as I try to figure out all my different prereqs and stuff like that, and giving me the opportunity to explore English as well. Specifically, I've been incredibly grateful for the opportunity to work with Dr. Barrett. He's a fantastic professor. All of my professors have been absolutely fantastic, but the chance to really develop my skills as a writer and a poet has been wonderful. So I highly encourage you guys to give PLU a shot. It has been an absolutely incredible experience for me. I have been able to do almost everything that I've kind of set out to do since I committed here. And if there's a place that allows you to really take on all the different parts of yourself, it's PLU.
So that is Daniel's experience. And now you'll be hearing from Marina Foster, who is a English and history double major.
Hi, my name is Marina, and I'm an English literature major at PLU. What I've really loved about studying English at PLU are all of the great conversations I get to have with people about interesting books and topics, and a lot of my classes have facilitated those conversations. Some of my favorite include the Book and Society, environmental literature, and sex and gender Holocaust literature. If you come to PLU, you'll have the chance to take some great classes with people and topics that foster thinking about the world in new ways while reading some great books.
And so that's Marina, who's kind of emphasizing the kind of diversity of topics and issues that we teach in the department, and also the really important aspect of conversation that is part of all majors' experience. And here we have Thea Polito, who is an English literature major, and she's also an IHON International Honors student.
Hi, my name is Thea, and I am an English literature major here at PLU. What I really appreciated about the English department is the range of courses you could take. some include one from Holocaust studies, and another was centered in the American literary tradition. After graduation, I plan to go to grad school. I'm looking around the East Coast right now. And if you come to PLU, you have the opportunity to make really close connections with your professors.
And that is, yeah. So I would say that out of all of the things I've thrown your way today, I would stay with 3 things. One is storytelling and our emphasis on storytelling. 2, small cohorts and one-on-one connections with professors. And 3, a world of possibilities in how both your concentrations can help you explore and strengthen different aspects of who you are, and then the range of topics and ways of understanding what it means to read and to write that you'll be able to get out of the major. So I'll stop now, and hopefully you'll feel comfortable asking me any questions that you might have. I'll give you a few seconds to think about whether you'd like to ask me any questions, and I'm going to stop sharing too so that I can see, so you can see me more clearly. While we're waiting to see if you have questions, I'll just add that this major is also really good for you, whether you're a transfer student who's hoping to study at PLU for 2 years, or whether you're on a 4-year track. Many of our current majors are transfer students, and they're having a really easy time completing their major, regardless of whether they're doing literature or writing. And obviously, if you're going to minor, our minor is also really flexible. And if you're on a 4-year track, that fits really well with the kind of amount of time that you have, and it also gives you an opportunity to perhaps double major if you want, or to do study away. So those are some other things that I would add. Okay, everyone. So I hope this was helpful. And again, please feel free to follow up with me on any questions that you might have. And I wish you luck in your search for a place to be in. And I really hope you'll choose PLU. I think everything we've said here today is really genuine. What my colleagues say, what the students have said, it is a really wonderful place to be in, to study, and to thrive. And I'd keep what Daniel said about how PLU lets you be everything you want to be. It's really a place where people grow into who they want to be. So I hope you'll choose us. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you, or maybe even meeting you. Take care.